So today we'll see what is conquer. Okay, so let us see what is decrease and conquer. So before that, just an glance to divide and conquer. So what is divide and conquer? You are just splitting the problem into a sub problem and then solving those sub problems and combining the solution. Okay, and combining the solution. So then what is decrease and conquer? See, decrease and conquer is nothing but you are decreasing or reducing the size of the problem, solving those sub problems or smaller problems, and extend the solution of the smaller problems that might be the solution for the main problem. So here it is not combining, here it is extend. See, solution of smaller instance to obtain solution to the original problem. So here the basic idea of divide and conquer is based on the relationship between a solution to the given instance of problem. So we will see under this you have topological sorting. We will see what is topological sorting. So before that, this is just about what is decrease and conquer. Okay, so decrease and conquer is here also you are reducing the size of the problem, solving those smaller instance of problem, and then looking whether that smaller instance of problem satisfies the solution with the original problem. Okay, and see, it is here it is told that it is incremental or inductive approach. Okay, so whatever smaller the solutions you have got for the smaller problems, that you will extend to get the solution to the original problem. Yes, so here decrease and conquer, you have two approach. One is top down approach and bottom up approach. So you already know what is top down and what is bottom up. So top down, so you start from a root node, you call recursively, reach the leaf node, and then see then find the solution. Okay, bottom up approach, we start from the leaf node or we start from the smaller unit and then reach back to the root node, isn't it? So that is what we have seen, top down approach and bottom up approach. Top down approach, it will call recursively. Bottom up approach, what we do, we solve the smallest unit, we get the solution for that, we see whether that solution is required for the next problem to be solved in the next level. Okay, so that is what is top down and bottom up approach. So here there are three major variations, that is nothing but types, how decrease and conquer, where you can apply those decrease and conquer. So one is decrease by constant, the other one is decrease by constant factor, and the other one is variable size decrease. So decrease by constant is nothing but every iteration you are going to reduce it by certain constant value. Okay, every iteration you are going to reduce it by certain constant value. So decrease by constant factor is almost similar to decrease by constant. So here instead of constant value you have a certain factor or feature using which you are going to decrease in every iteration. Okay, variable size decrease, so every iteration you are trying to decrease, the size differs. There is no constant value or constant factor based on which you are going to decrease the problem. Okay. Yes, so decrease by constant. So here under this decrease by constant you can see certain problems. See, insertion sort, graph searching, that is DFS and BFS, then topological sorting, then algorithm for generating permutations, subsets. So all these comes under decrease by constant. See, in insertion sort what we do, we take an element, we sort it, we take the next element, we compare it with the sorted array, where to place that element. Again now you have the sorted array, again you take the next element, try to compare it, place it in the particular position, and now the array is sorted. Again the next element, So that is what is insertion sort. Every time you are taking a single value, comparing it, sorting it. In DFS and BFS, so DFS, from one node you are going to reach only one other node, isn't it? So recursively you will keep checking which node is called. What is BFS then? So from a node you are visiting all the adjacency node for that particular node. Okay, so you start from a node, from that node whichever node is reachable you are going to visit all those nodes. So that is what is BFS. So topological sorting, so we will see what is topological sorting. Permutations and subsets, again permutations and all you have step by step, isn't it? And every time you go for the next iteration you are going to decrease it by 1 only. See, if I want to calculate for example NPR, something like that, so n factorial, again I have to call, no, n factorial means n into n minus 1 into n minus 2, so every time you are decreasing it by 1 and then finally finding the solution. Okay, so that is what is decreased by a constant. So every time you are decreasing it by some constant value. Okay, yes. So what is this topological sorting? See, topological sorting is nothing but this sorting especially is applied for directed acyclic graph. Okay, so the graph should be directed graph. It should not have any cycle. Okay, it should not have any cycle. Then only topological sorting can be applicable. Okay, so this topological sorting is applicable for directed acyclic graph. Okay, so here in it is a linear ordering of vertices. So how you are going to order these vertices? See, it is told that linear ordering of vertices. So you are going to sort in the sense you are going to arrange those nodes of the graph in an order. In which order you are going to arrange? See, for example, you have an edge UV. That means you have an edge from U to V. It is a directed graph, isn't it? So it is from U to V. So in that situation, U has to come first and V has to come next of U. Okay, so that is what we call it as sorting. Okay, so sorting in the sense whenever you have an edge from U to V, so U has to come before V in the ordering. So that is what is topological sorting. So it is applicable only for directed acyclic graph. It is not applicable for any other graph. Okay, no bidirectional, no even if it is directed graph, it should not have a cycle. Okay, so we will see how to sort. See, so how you will order? When you have an edge from U to V, U comes first and V comes next. Okay, so we will see how to solve it. So this is an example given. See, now look at this. So this is actually a directed graph, but is there any cycle in this graph? No, there is no cycle. See, from 5 you reach 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 1. From 1 you are not going to reach 4. So there is no cycle formed here, isn't it? From 5 you can reach 2 and 0. From 4 you can reach 0 and 1. So there is no cycle formed here. Yes. So yes, we can proceed with solving this problem. So first we will just see how DFS works for this. Okay, so how DFS works for this. Yes, so how does DFS work? See, so if at all I start from 5. So if we start from 5, so from 5 where will you reach? Okay, let us assume we reach 0. From 0 where will you reach? You won't reach anywhere. So go back to 5. So from 5 where will you reach? 2. From 2 to 3. 3 to 1. From 1 you will not reach anywhere. So again we will go back to 3. From 3 you don't have any other node with adjacent node. From 3 we will go back to 2. Again 2 doesn't have any other adjacent node. From 2 we will go back to 5. From 5 also we don't have any other adjacent node. So what we do? We stop there. So again we have another node. So from 4 you have 0 and 1, but 0 and 1 was already visited, so you are not going to consider that. So again from 4 you don't have any other node which is adjacent to it, so you stop the iteration. So how did you proceed? So 5, 0, 2, 3, 1 and then 4, isn't it? Or you can have 5, 2, 3, 1, 0 and then 4, isn't it? So this is how the DFS works. See, let us just go through it. So to start with, so first node is 5. So from 5 we reach 2. So from 2 where we reach? From 2 we reach 3. See, DFS, I hope you remember, it makes use of stack. Yes. So you put the items into the stack or the elements into the stack one by one when you visit it, isn't it? So 5 first it is visited, so put that 5 to the stack. Then from 5 we reached 2, so put that 2 to the stack. From 2 we reached 3, so put that 3 to the stack. From 3 we reached 1, put that 1 to the stack. So from 1 you are not going to reach anywhere, isn't it? From 1 you are not going to reach anywhere, so we just delete that 1 from the stack. Again from 3, do you have any other node apart from 1? No, we don't have any other node which is adjacent to 3, so pop that 3 from the stack. So now what is there in the top of the stack? So 2 is on the top of the stack. So from 2 where will you reach? 3 it is already visited, you don't have any other node from 2, so again pop that element from the stack. So now from 5, do you have any other node? So let us see if we have. Yes, from 5 we have 0, so put that 0 onto the stack. So from 0, do you have any other node? That is 0 adjacent to any other node? Sorry, is any other node adjacent to 0? So no, there is no node adjacent to 0, so remove that 0 from the stack. Now again 5 is on top of the stack. Now again check whether any other node is adjacent to 5. No, there is no node adjacent to 5, so again remove that from the stack. Okay, so we have removed that 5 also from the stack. Now which is the node which is not visited in the graph? 4 is the node which is not visited in the graph, so we visit 4, so we put that 4 into the stack. Now from 4, what are the nodes visited? Sorry, from 4 what are the nodes connected to it? From 4 you have 0 and 1, but that 0 and 1 is already visited, so you are not going to visit any node from 4. Again remove that 4. So this is the order in which we have visited, isn't it? So 5, 2, 3, 1, 0 and then 4. Okay, so 5, 2, 3, 1, 0 and 4. So this is what is we saw DFS. Now let us see topological sorting. See here, topological sorting also makes use of stack. Okay, it also makes use of stack. We will see how to solve it using the stack. Now for now we will see how to solve it manually. Okay, so when you come to the coding part or programmatically, so you are making use of stack and you are making use of that visited array, you are making use of that sorted list. That sorted list is just for printing, but manually how to check? So how to check is, you have to check for the nodes which doesn't have any in degree. Yes, I hope you remember what is in degree and out degree. Yes, so here you have to check for the nodes which doesn't have any in degree. So is there any node which doesn't have any in degree? Yes, you have node here. So 5 and 4. So these two nodes doesn't have any in degree. So what we will do is we will put that node first. Yes, so we will print that 5 and 4. See, you can print it in any order, 5 and 4, 4 and 5. Okay, So once you put that into the print that, then what you are going to do is you are going to delete those two nodes. Okay, so you are going to delete those two nodes. So these nodes are deleted and the edge for that nodes is also deleted. Now you are going to visit 2. Okay, after this you are going to visit 2. Again from 2 you have an edge connected to 3, isn't it? So again if I remove this 2, which node doesn't have any in degree? The next node is 3. See, you can consider 0 also, but why here we are not considering 0 is 0 doesn't have any out degree, so you will have to come back here. So what we are doing is from 5 we visit 2, again from 2 to 3, 3 to 1. So we get a proper flow, so we are using this. Okay, yes. So here, so after removing the nodes 5 and 4, we need to check for the vertex which doesn't have any in degree. So here 2 doesn't have any in degree, you have 0 also, but 2 has an out degree. So what we will do is, for now we will consider that 2. Okay, so we consider that 2, then again we will delete that 2. So again you have 3 now, so we will consider that 3, again we will delete that 3, again we have 1, so we write that 1, and again we have 0, we put that 0. Okay, so this actually manually, this is what we do. That means a source removal, this method is also called as source removal. That is nothing but, so to start with the source here means the node which doesn't have any in degree. Okay, source here means the node which doesn't have any in degree. So here 5 and 4 doesn't have any in degree, so we start with that order. Okay, we take either 5 or 4, and then from 5 you can just delete, I mean from 5 and 4 you can delete all the edges. Then again you can see which is the node which doesn't have any in degree, again you can see which is the node which doesn't have any in degree. So that is how you keep on visiting and you sort the nodes or the vertices. Okay, so for this we have seen we have two types, I mean two ways of printing it. So this is one way and this is the other way. Okay, so the order is 5 4 2 3 1 0. So this is what is the order. So now again we will see how to solve it using stack. Okay, how to solve it using stack we will see. Okay, yes. So look at this. So the same thing we have taken. So 5 to 0, 5 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 1, again 4 to 0 and 4 to 1. So what we have done here is, first you have taken the adjacency list. What do you mean by adjacency list? From each node you are just checking which node it is visiting or which node it is reaching. So node 0, does it have any out degree? No, it doesn't have any out degree, so it will not reach any node. Then node 1, does it has any out degree? No, it doesn't have any out degree. Yes, it doesn't have any out degree. So again nil. 2, so 2 to 3 you have, so 2 to 3. Again from 2 you don't have any other node adjacent to it. 3, yes, it has a node adjacent to it, that is 1. So from 3 you can reach 1. Now from 4 you can reach 0 and 1. So from 5 you can reach 0 and 2, isn't it? So this is the adjacency list. Okay, so we have taken the adjacency list. Now you have an visited array. Okay, so visited array, how many nodes you have? 0 1 2 3 4 5. So many size, so much size of the array you have taken. Okay, so initially in the visited array you will have all false, or you can take it as 0. Okay, so none of the nodes are visited, so everything is 0 here. Okay, yes. So now we will see what next. See here stack is empty, so we have stack also. So initially stack is empty. Now to start with, So to start with, what we do, we take for 0, we call 0. From 0, can you reach any other node? From 0, will you reach any other node? See, if you look at this, from 0 you won't reach any of the node. So the recursion fails. That means no more recursive calls. So now visited of 0, we have made it as true. So now we put that 0 into the stack. Then in the order, what is the next node? Next node is 1. So make 1 as visited. Okay, make 1 as visited. Now from 1, do you have any node which is visited? From 1, do you have any node? So 1 is not reaching any other node. So again there is no further recursive call. So no recursive call. So put that 1 to the stack. Now let us come to the next node. In the order, what is the next node? Next node is 2. Isn't it? So look at this. In the order, what is the node? The next node is 2. So from 2, can you reach any other node? Yes, you can reach 3. Isn't it? You can reach 3. So 2 will recursively call 3. So again 3, from 3 can you reach any other node? Yes, you can reach. So where you can reach? 1. But 1 is already visited. Isn't it? 1 is already visited. So that is the reason we have put that 1 onto the stack. From 1 you don't have any other node. So you will come back to 3. You will put that 3 to the stack. Again come back to 2. You will put that 2 onto the stack. See, this is what we have done. See, from 2 you are recursively calling 3. From 3 you will recursively call 1, but 1 is already visited. So no recursion. So that is the reason you will put this 3 to the stack. From 3 again you will go back to 2 and put that 2 to the stack, because from 2 you don't have any further calls. From 2 you can reach only 3. So no further calls. So you put that 2 also to the stack. Now what you do is you go to the next one. What is the next one in the list? The next one is 4. So from 4 it will recursively call 0, but 0 is already visited. So again come back. Again you have one more node which reaches from 4, that is 1. But 1 again it is visited. So again it will come back to 4. Now from 4 you don't have any other node which is adjacent to 4. So then you will stop this recursion. So then what you will do, you will put that 4 to the stack. You will put that 4 to the stack. Now which is the node which is there at the end? So 5. So now what you will do? From 5 you will see, okay, you have two nodes, 0 and 2. But when you check 0, it is already visited. So it will go back to 5. Then it will call 2. Again 2 is already visited. It will go back to 5. From 5 again it will check for any other node. There is no node. So you will put that 5 to the stack. Yes. So now you are going to print all the elements from the top to bottom. So when you print, so what is the first element? So we will see. When you print, what you get? So it is 5, then it is 4, then 2, then 3, then 1, and then 0. So this is what is the order, isn't it? 5, 4, 2, 3, 1, 0. Let us see manually when we did whether we got that same order. So 5, 4, 2, 3, 1, 0. Same order we got, isn't it? See, 5, 4, 2, 3, 1, 0. So again manually when we saw, we got one more order. Yes, here the same order we have got. See, when we do it theoretically, we try to solve it in, faster. So we apply some shortcuts, all those things and all. But when we are doing it programmatically, we cannot do that, isn't it? So manually it is little different. but you are applying the same algorithm only, but it will be little different. So here we are just coming in a sequence. Okay, so we started from 0. So 0, you from 0 you don't visit any node, so that is the reason you have this adjacency list. Okay, so from 0 you don't visit any other node, so you will put that node 0 to the stack. Now again the next node is 1, so from 1 you will not reach any other node, so you will put that 1 to the stack. Then from 2 you will reach 3, from 3 you will reach 1, but 1 is already visited, so again you will go back to 3. From 3 you will check for any other node, but you don't have any other node to reach, so you will go back to 3 and put that 3 to the stack. Again from 3 you will go back to 2. From 2 you will check, is there any other call? No, there is no other call, so you will put that 2 to the stack. Then in the next thing is 4. So from 4 you have 0, but 0 is already visited, go back to 4, call 1, 1 is already visited, go back to 4. From 4 you don't have any other node adjacent to it, so you put that 4 to the stack. Yes, then go to 5. So from 5, yes, when you see you have 0, 0 is already visited, go back to 5. Then again it will call for 2, 2 is already visited, go back to 5, no other nodes are connected to it, so you will put that 5 to the stack. And then print all the elements from top to bottom. See, this is the top, no? This is the top. So top to 0 we print. So that is 5, 4, 2, 3, 1, 0. So this is what is the order in which the vertices are sorted. Okay. So this is what is topological sorting. Yes. So I hope you have understood what is topological sorting. So we will see one more example. Okay, just before that, see the complexity analysis. So what is the time complexity for this topological sorting? It is nothing but the number of vertices plus number of edges. It is almost nothing but n to n or n. Okay, that is, we visit every node and all the edges connected to that node, isn't it? So from one node to another node we reach based on the edges. So it is number of vertices plus number of edges. So it is similar to DFS. Okay, and yes, so when you consider space, it is nothing but an extra space for stack. So stack, again it will be the size of the number of vertices, because you are going to put those vertices into the stack one by one. So how many vertices do you have? So that much will be the size of the stack. Okay, so this is what is the complexity analysis for topological sorting. Now let us see another example. So you have one more example here. So A, B, C, D, E. So you can see here, from A you can reach C, from B also you can reach C, from C you can reach both D and E, from D you can reach E, isn't it? So now manually if we try to solve, that is eliminating the source, so you have two vertices, so two vertices which do not have any integrity. So in that case I can just write A, B, then I can check which one to go with. See, if I delete A and B both, then C will be the vertex without any integrity, isn't it? See. So here A and B, so A and B doesn't have any integrity, so I will just print A and B in any random order. It might be AB or it might be BA. Then what I will do, I will delete the edges also connected to A and B. So then you have to check which node doesn't have any integrity. So in that case C doesn't have any integrity. So again delete C and all the edges connected to C. So if we delete that, now again we will check, you have two nodes D and E. So D doesn't have any in degree, so then I'll again remove D, and at the end it is E. So what is the order? The order is A, B, C, D, E, or the order can be B, A, C, D, E, isn't it? The order can be A, B, C, D, E, or it can be B, A, C, D, E. Now let us see how to make use of this stack and proceed for solving the problem. Okay, so we will see how to solve this problem by going in an order. So now if we see, if you try to check for the adjacency list. So from A, where do you reach? You reach C. Okay, from B, where you reach? You reach C, isn't it? From C, where you reach? You reach D. From C, one more you have is E. From D, you reach E. From E, you don't reach anywhere. Okay, so this is what is the adjacency list. So A to C, B to C, C to D, and E, D to E. From E, you are not going to reach anywhere. Now, to start with, so if at all I consider A, okay, so let us consider A. To start with, we consider A. So what we do, we make A as visited. Okay, so this the size of the array is 5. So just assume that this is A, B, C, D, E in an order. So A is visited. Then what I will do is I will call the node which is adjacent to A recursively. So from A you can reach C. So C is called recursively. Okay, see, you are not going to put that to the stack until you reach the dead end, isn't it? Until you reach the dead end, you are not going to put that node to the stack. So now again what we will do, we will make C as visited, and from C you check which node can be called. So from C in the order it will call D. Okay, from C in the order it will call D. So then again make D as visited. See, make D as visited. So if you see the visited array, from A we reached C, from C we reached D, from D again you have an out degree to E, so we will reach that E. So we have visited E, but from E you don't have any other node to reach. Okay, so there is no node which is adjacent to E. So what we do, we put that E to the stack. Okay, we put that E to the stack. So now again from E, how did you reach E? You reached E from D, isn't it? So we will go back to D. So from D, do you have any other node adjacent to it? No, you don't have any node adjacent to D. So what you will do, you will put that D to the stack. Okay, so you will put that D to the stack. From D again you will see from D again you check, go back to C. From C, do you have any node adjacent to it? Yes, you have. Which is that node? E. But E is already visited, isn't it? E is already visited. So again you will go back from C to A. From A, do you have any other node? No, you don't have any other node adjacent to A. So put that node to the stack. That is, you are going to put that A to the stack. Now you don't have any connection, isn't it? Now which is the node which is not visited? B is the node which is not visited. So now you make B as visited. After making B as visited, again from B you check for the node which is adjacent to it. C is adjacent to B, but C is already visited. So you will stop there. So put that B to the stack. See, that is what is explained here. So at a stretch, so what you see? So there is no node adjacent to D. So put that D to the stack. So go back to C. So E is adjacent to C, but E is already visited. So put C to the stack and go back to A. So no node is adjacent to A. So put A to the stack. Now visit B. That means you are making B as visited. Then check if any node is adjacent to B. Yes, C is adjacent, but C is already visited. So again we don't have any other node adjacent to B, so put that node B to the stack. Now what we do is we print that. How do we print that? From top to the bottom, isn't it? So from top to the bottom, if you consider, so first what is the element you are going to print? B you are going to print. I'm sorry for the background noise. Okay, so B, A, C, D, E. So this is what is the order. Okay, this is what is the order. So manually when we tried, again same thing only we did, isn't it? So we first eliminated A and B, then eliminated C, then eliminated D and then E, isn't it? Same order we did it. So only thing is either B or A or B. This can be in any order. But when we use the stack, so this is what is the order we get. So B, A, C, D, E. Is that clear? Yes. So this is what is topological sorting. Okay. So you will be given with an directed acyclic graph, or even if any graph is given, topological sorting is applicable only for directed acyclic graph. Okay. So this is what is topological sorting all about. So topological sorting